right. Now it's time for round of 32. Win or go home. What is the mentality of the team heading into this massive match?
I mean, first excitement because we were able to pass the first phase of the competition. We've been in these type of tournaments in the past, and the players have the experience to understand how much matters this coming game, and there's no tomorrow. There's only one match, and then you have to go through. And the fact that we're playing against a very good team makes the game even more interesting.
And then also expanding on them being a really good team, they are very, very good in transition. Have there been any tweaks to the game plan as opposed to just like a normal MLS team?
Of course, I mean, every game we prepare to face our opposition. Every game we know what the strengths and weaknesses are. This team is one of the best teams in Mexico. We face already Tigres, which is another big club, another important club, and now we're facing Monterrey, and we expect them to be, at their best. They have a good roster. They keep on getting, more players, and I know that they'll be competitive. So that's why we need to be, as ready as we can. We had a very good week of training. Of course, we'll miss Evander not participating with us in this match, but we're getting players back like Yimmi and other guys to make sure that we stay more competitive.
Jimmy, what do you remember about your time playing with Monterrey?
Bueno, Monterrey es el equipo que me dio una oportunidad de seguir creciendo como profesional. Es un gran club, es un club que siempre compite a alto nivel, es un club que siempre trata de hacer las cosas de la mejor manera, y eso lo sentí cuando estaba allá. Creo que va a ser un gran partido. Para nosotros va a ser importante estar concentrados todo el partido.
¿Preguntas en español?
Profesor, buenas tardes, Diego Armando Medina de TUDN. ¿Qué opinión tiene del rival que les toca? Para muchos, Monterrey, junto con Tigres, al que ya enfrentaron, son de los principales favoritos. Ahora con Inter Miami, el América, ¿será mala suerte, buena suerte para tener ese gran roce? ¿Qué opinión tiene y cuáles son los argumentos tal vez de los Timbers para poderse llevar la victoria?
No, primero de todo, es lindo poder encontrarnos con estos equipos como Tigres, Monterrey, equipos de alto nivel, equipos que, como Jimmy dijo, siempre compiten y demuestran en cada torneo que tienen un grupo de jugadores para poder competir de la mejor manera. Y nosotros estamos muy contentos de tener esta oportunidad de jugar contra estos equipos, ya que nos vemos nosotros también en una situación donde podemos medirnos en donde estamos en este momento. Y sin duda, en esta fase ahora que no hay mañana, sino que el que gane pasa, se hace inclusive más importante el partido. Sobre todo el hecho de que vamos a jugar en nuestra casa. Sabemos que van a haber también fanáticos del Monterrey. Yo creo que va a ser un lindo escenario como fue contra Tigres, y nos esperamos un gran partido.
Sí, se puede una para Jimmy, ¿no? Jimmy, bien lo decías, lo que está peleando el Monterrey normalmente. A ti te tocó como que cuando iniciaba todo ese segundo proceso de levantar, ¿te gustaría o te hubiese gustado tal vez estar en este momento de Monterrey, que es de las plantillas más caras? Puede ser el debut de Sergio Canales, que viene apenas del Betis. ¿Con qué recuerdos te quedas tú, Jimmy? Si en algún momento, bueno, tú no cierras la puerta de algún regreso.
Cuando regresé en la segunda fase tuvimos un gran nivel. El equipo pasó por momentos muy buenos. Lógicamente, como tú dices, venían en esa transición, en ese cambio. Siempre uno deja las puertas abiertas, y cuando uno sale bien de un equipo quisiera volver. Ahora mi deber está con Timbers, y vamos a tratar de hacer un gran partido.
De este lado, Jimmy, Felipe Galindo de Canal 6 Deportes. Precisamente en eso mismo, de ese mismo tema que quería hablar, ¿qué te ha parecido el crecimiento del Monterrey a raíz de los últimos años, ¿no? Porque también ha estado peleando, trayendo fichajes importantes, el estadio también te tocó por ahí estar en el Gigante de Acero en su inauguración, hoy ya cumple 8 años. ¿Qué te ha parecido todo el crecimiento global que ha tenido la institución del Monterrey ahora hasta esta actualidad?
Para el club es importante, creo que ha sido importante todo ese crecimiento que ha tenido, para la hinchada también, una hinchada que siempre estaba ahí apoyando, una hinchada que siempre quiere que el equipo pelee por títulos, y ha sido importante ese crecimiento. Ellos, desde que yo estuve allá, siempre tuvieron esa mentalidad, esa visión, y bueno, muy bueno por ellos que lo pudieron conseguir.
Any other questions in the room?
Real quick, in a game like this, you're playing a team that you haven't seen in a while, and then they're playing here, you're playing at home. Does that play any advantage at all with you being home playing this game?
Yeah, even though this is a team that we haven't faced before, we have seen enough to understand the way they play. We understand the roster, and we understand that it's a different team than Tigres. The fact that we're playing at home, it is an advantage the way I look at it from us, even though we know that Monterrey can play away from home still at a high level. The fact that we're playing in our stadium makes us feel that we have an advantage in the sense of we know the field, we know the surroundings, we know the turf, which is a different type of surface, and I believe that we have to come into the game with that mentality, even though we know that Monterrey is used to playing away from home and trying to dictate the way they used to play.
All right, we'll move to questions into Zoom. Jill, go ahead.
If you have a question online, please use the raise hand feature and we'll call on you once it's your turn. We'll start off with John Lupo. Go ahead.
Gio, you mentioned how good they are in transition. To me, they look like the best of the Liga MX team so far. And they sometimes they look like they have a 4-4-2. I've seen them where they've only played a reverse, a 2-4-4. So do you feel like if they do that, do you feel like that might be an opportunity for you guys to make smart runs, get in behind their defense, be strong with the ball, expose the gaps they may be leaving? And then you mentioned their transition. When you get the ball back and when you stop their transition to prevent them from having a secondary attack, do you feel like maybe your defensive outlets, naturally passing the ball is always important, but smart passing, knowing where on the field to pass it, so when they win the ball back, they're not already set up to be able to counterattack again?
So with the first question, we know already how competitive Monterrey is. We have heard as well from some of the Mexican media as then saying that for them Monterrey is probably the favorite in this tournament as of the Mexican teams that have come into the League's Cup. So we're aware of their quality, and we have done a lot of scouting to understand exactly the way they play. As you mentioned, it's a 4-4-2, but it's a 4-4-2 that changes very much into a different system. They're very attacking minded. They have committed players that even though they are in high positions, they come back and press you back when you win the ball. They have experienced players and young players, a good combination, and you can see that they understand exactly the way they want to play. So we know them very well in the four phases of the game. We know them very well in set pieces, defensive and attacking. So we are playing against a team that we have studied well, and it's now for us to execute and perform and make sure that we make a competitive game in our stadium tomorrow.
Do we have any last questions online for Yimmi or Gio? All right, I think we will wrap it there. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Gracias.